Hello there, guys. Welcome back to another episode of E&Ftv. Today we are joined by the brilliant Valeriya Kim, who's Business Development Executive at OTA Insights. Valeriya, thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
It's great to have you on. It's great to have you on. And I'm really interested to hear sort of from your perspective, a number of points obviously we're going to be discussing today. So thanks very much for obviously taking the time out of your schedule to join us. I suppose how we like to start things here at E&Ftv is just to understand a little bit more about you. So yeah, it'd be really good to understand your background, how you discovered this wonderful world of revenue management, and I suppose take us through a bit about your current role.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I am a business development executive at OTA Insights. Originally, I graduated from University of Surrey in 2018, completing an international hospitality management degree. So my work experience has mostly been in hotels and a bit of tech startups. I was approached by OTA Insight not long after graduating and started working with them to help expand our reach across the UK and Ireland. I suppose that OTA Insight has given me the first proper introduction to revenue management. I learned a lot about the aspects that are important to our clients, who mostly are revenue managers. And I also discovered the world of technology that is being used by hospitality professionals to reach their KPIs, make pricing decisions and distribution decisions on a daily basis. I think it was quite crazy to realize that there is so much to revenue management and tech. There are so many systems, you name it, PMS, RMS, BI tools, channel managers, rate shoppers, and all of them have their importance to a revenue manager, of course. But even without knowing the depths of hospitality industry, I think I still understood the value that technology companies and OTA Insight bring to hoteliers, to our industry, especially in the world where the data is so important, and without it, you're kind of just a person with an opinion. So I guess that would be it about kind of me and revenue management.
Great. Well, it's always good to have somebody new in the industry. We're trying to get as many people into this weird and wonderful world of revenue management. So welcome, I suppose. But no, on a serious note, I suppose the revenue management industry, we all know each other. We all talk and we all obviously sort of work together in whatever capacity that may be. And something that I'm very passionate about is bringing people together. So I'm actually really happy that you've actually come on the show, because again, it gives you a bit more reach and you might end up talking to people that you may not have done before. So no, fantastic. I suppose thinking about it, just for some audience members that might not even know who you guys are. So I suppose give us a bit of information about who OTA Insight is.
Yeah, of course. Well, so OTA Insight is a leading cloud-based data intelligence platform for the hospitality industry, of course. We provide a suite of revenue management solutions that empower hoteliers to make smarter revenue and distribution decisions. And the company originally launched in 2012. Our core product used to be Rate Insight. It still is, but that was the first one. But there were just so many opportunities and resources to expand our potential. So we soon became a multi-product company. And currently we are offering 4 revenue management solutions. First is Rate Insight, which is essentially a price comparison solution. The Parity Insight, which is a solution that helps groups to solve parity issues. Revenue Insight, which is our BI tool, and it basically breaks down the PMS data for the hoteliers. And the latest one is Market Insight, and it just helps hoteliers understand demand in real time, which is at the moment as well going to be very, very important. So yeah, I'm honestly very proud and excited about the developments and the enhancements that we keep releasing. And I'm sure that there will be so much more exciting things coming in the near future as well. So basically, yeah, there we go.
I think it's one of these things where tech companies and obviously OTA Insights being that included, they've always got something going on. And I think with anything like the sort of situation we find us in now, within all this uncertainty, disruption always brings change. And I always think that the tech side of things are always on that a lot quicker than sometimes the industry themselves, because they almost need to be ahead of the curve to be able to provide the product for the company to be able to obviously get through it. So I'm really excited as well to see what comes out of, what comes out from OTA Insights to be able to support the clients that they've got. I suppose from your point of view, in terms of revenue management, how do you see it developing? What do you see the future of revenue management being?
That's a great question. I think everyone would have a different opinion, but also like a lot of similarities in our opinions. I suppose if you asked me this question last year, I would have given you a completely different answer, as would many people dealing with revenue on a daily basis. And the reason for that is, of course, that it used to be about the historical data, right? It used to be about year-on-year comparison for revenue managers, what is on the books, what they have already. And they relied on it a lot because it was always about the knowledge of what has been in the past. And it always worked. It was always great. Unfortunately, post-COVID, it will have to change. We will see a new and greater need for forward-looking data. So hoteliers can anticipate demand, better predict market shifts, and align their pricing with the future reality by making changes in the present to increase the demand in the future. So I think that in addition to this forward-looking data, there will always also be changes in shifts from traditional revenue management, as I just mentioned. We see that there will be shifts from things like competitive sets that used to be static to a dynamic ones. So because the concept of perfect comp set is no longer relevant, and hoteliers need to consider other competitors, such as alternative accommodation, on a more serious note, especially due to consumers changing their perceptions of travel and becoming more conscious about health, hygiene. There are also more price pressures, I would say, that often result in, five-star hotels having to lower their prices to the standards of four-star hotels. And I think what is really great about technological advances to that point is that now we have artificial intelligence that can suggest competitive sets based on multiple factors like, let's say, market shifts, demands, relevance, and unpredictable events. And I guess that is the key to unveil the true comp set to hoteliers moving forwards. Now, I also think that there will be a greater emphasis on a top of the funnel search data as a method of forecasting. And what that is essentially is the method that allows revenue managers to anticipate demand ahead of its curve by understanding the booking intent and how it changes, and by making sure that they are, of course, leveraging opportunities to convert this intent into the actual bookings. And I guess if I was to summarize, I would say that the future of revenue management lies in the hands of brilliant revenue managers who are just not afraid of change and innovations. And there won't be a place for the old school mentality and for keeping things as they have been because they just worked. The global crisis, I guess, will show which players are not afraid to break the boundaries and ultimately adapt to the situation in the best way possible and, become better, I guess.
Definitely. I honestly couldn't agree with you more. It's good to get your insight from obviously your perspective, but I do think the general consensus has been, especially in a number of conversations that I've been involved in, is innovation has to happen. Boundaries have to be broken. In fact, rules have to be broken. As you mentioned a moment ago, the old way of doing things just won't it won't cut it anymore. Innovation, creativity, imagination has to be the driving force going forward. Yes, combined with forward-looking data, don't get me wrong, but I think the sort of people on the front line need to be of that mindset where they're going to create change. And I think that's so important. And guys, anybody that's watching this right now, obviously, if you do agree with us, great. If you've got some other points about it, please do comment below, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on the future of revenue management and what you believe that looks like. Valeriya, it'd be interesting to understand, I suppose, what OTA Insight and you have been doing during the pandemic, I suppose, to support the industry and all this sort of stuff. So what have you guys been up to?
Well, I think that just by looking through LinkedIn back when it all started, it was so great to see how many brilliant companies proactively looked for ways to help our industry. And I mean, as a tech company with great resources and data, I guess OTA Insight was keen on contributing as much as possible as well. So to your question, to help hoteliers adapt to market behavior during the COVID-19 and the recovery periods, we have developed a global market trends report. And what this report contains is the data sets for more than 100 cities globally, tracking pricing trends across 100+ properties in each of these cities. So this report essentially helps to provide a better understanding of market trends in key regions by monitoring pricing and inventory changes. And the most useful part of this is that it is updated weekly. So information stays very relevant for hoteliers, and the past data is saved for example, comparison. And we provided this data to people that requested full access completely free of charge, and the aim was to just help them to understand how their market and hotel performs amongst their competition. And the good thing as well, which was very exciting, is that more than 3,000 requests came in to our inboxes daily. They were asking for this information, they were giving us really, really good feedback. And it is still critical to support hoteliers in their own path to recovery, and we are still continuing to upload the updates for these documents as well. On the second note that I want to mention is that in light of these events, we were also able to speed up the release of our latest product that I mentioned before, which is called Market Insight. And Market Insight is industry's first predictive market intelligence solution, and it captures hotel booking intent in real time to help hoteliers uncover new revenue opportunities. Of course, right now, again, it has always been important, it will always be important, but at the moment when everything is so precious, every opportunity is so precious, this should be very useful. And we have millions of data points that enable us to actually deliver the location-specific and segmented demand insights. So, in a nutshell, the aim of this solution is to help revenue managers understand 3 answers to 3 questions. So the first one is how to quickly spot the early signs of market recovery. Second one is how to compete for the earliest demand. And the third one, how can you decide on the right course of action? So what's the best and ultimate strategy for you? I think what is also important, recently I read the article about the role of revenue managers and the commercial directors, managers in our industry. And I think that there's something like Market Insight would definitely help bridge the gaps between commercial teams and encourage them to take action together, to actually strategize together and make it faster than basically your competition. So to be ahead of your competitors. And so saying all of this, coming back to what has been discussed just now, every hotelier we speak with agrees on one simple truth. you cannot solely rely on OTB data anymore. You cannot solely rely on historical data, because the future is in real-time opportunities and forward-looking data. So I really hope that tech companies, including ourselves, will continue supporting hotels and actually providing the data and the right tools that can really aid this recovery and help everyone to adjust to the different world that I guess we now live in.
No, definitely. I think it's incredibly important, as you said, about looking at the commercial teams and how they're working together and how they can overcome what's to come, I suppose, let alone what's currently going on. Just out of interest, is there somewhere or a link that we can put down below that people can click on to take them to that report? Because I know obviously you've had 3,000 people that have been interested, but I'm just thinking there might be some hoteliers or some revenue management professionals that might find it beneficial. So is there some sort of link that we can put down below?
Yes, absolutely. Our team has been sharing it on LinkedIn all the time, and we can definitely put the link in. And if anyone needs more information about it and kind of course, understanding and how to break down this data, they can get in touch with any one of us and we will be able to help. Because also something that I haven't mentioned is that we weren't just given this data and saying, here we go, have a look. We were actually trying to encourage a conversation where, you know, we as business development managers, account managers, and just anyone from our team who could help would take the hoteliers through this data and explain how to read it in the best way possible. And then also, of course, actually hear about how they're dealing with things and, you know, what is happening in the industry, because I think that's the most important thing right now. It's just this having this ability to connect to each other and share the best practices. And that's also why I think what you have been doing and how I came across you, Tom, is just really, really great. And thank you so much for, you know, letting the people in this industry speak and share their thoughts, their experiences, their expertise. I think that's the best thing that we can do all together right now, and, you know, to come out in the best way possible.
Oh wow! Well, I wasn't actually expecting that. I honestly, guys, there's no payment here.
Yeah, that was completely unplanned.
But no, it is very much appreciated. The E&Ftv sort of series has always been about bringing people, I suppose, in our industry from various different perspectives, various different seniorities, and hearing their thoughts, hearing about their background, and getting their insight into certain hot topics that are going on at the moment. And I do think it's important that rather than just going from a very secular revenue management point of view, it would have almost defeated the opportunity of being able to bring all these different perspectives. So no, as I said, thank you very much for saying that. But I do agree with everything you said about the sort of bringing people together, as I said, because it is so important, especially in a time like this. So what I'd say, guys, if you do want to check out that link below with regards to that report, please do. We'll leave a link below. And if you do want to discuss any further with Valeriya or any part of her team, please do get in touch with them, because they really want to help right now. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, Valeriya. I do really appreciate it. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
It has been a pleasure to be here and to speak with you as well.
Fantastic. And guys, thank you so much for joining us for another episode. If you want to check out who's on next week's episode, please do so now.